Well, I never thought I'd see the day, but I'm feeling committed enough to continue this series. Making a top 10 list, or 20 in my case, of my favorite video game music is almost impossible due to the sheer amount of tracks that I absolutely adore. So I've decided to semi-regularly make another video in this series to showcase and appreciate some of my favorite video game music. So, with Volume 2, let's take a look at 10 more of my favorite video game tracks. Number 1. Sogno di Volare, Civilization 6. I think I pronounced that correctly. And before you say anything in the comments, yes, I love Baba Yetu as well. In fact, I'll probably cover that later. But no lie, hearing this track before the game came out was almost my entire reason for picking it up. I've always had a blast playing the Civilization games, and their music is almost always wonderful. Terra Nova is okay. Civ 6 also has the distinction of making music that evolves over time as your civs progress. While I felt that Civ 6 was an overall disappointment, this title theme is incredible. With its extremely powerful orchestration and beautiful Italian vocals, it truly inspires me to carve my own path and create a civilization that will stand the test of time. I'd say this is one of those tracks that makes me sit through its entirety in the main menu, but conveniently by the time I get a game set up, the song is usually almost over. And before you comment about how fast your computer runs, once again, I don't care. With dreams of flight in your spirit and a sword in your hand, you'll be more than willing to found, conquer, and spread your equally valid religions. Gloria. Number 2. Bob-omb Battlefield, Super Mario 64. So as I've established, Dire Dire Docks is my favorite track from that game. But Bob-omb Battlefield is just delightful. In fact, this is the track after which most of the songs in this game are modeled. Yep, Snow Mountain and the Slide theme are both remixes of this track. The overworld themes for every Super Mario game are wonderful, and Bob-omb Battlefield is no exception. With its jazzy and upbeat tempo, I knew right off the bat that I was gonna have fun here. Whether racing Koopas, releasing Chain Chomps, or just leaping on lazy Goombas, this music set the perfect mood for this grand adventure in 3D. In fact, this track is so iconic that it has been mixed into many future Super Mario titles. And while perhaps not as iconic as the originals, Bob-omb Battlefield is a wonderful piece of music and has stuck with me to this day. Number 3. Underwater Frigate, Metroid Prime. So, I should really come clean here. I have never beaten Metroid Prime. Now, if you were to do a quick search of my videos, you would see that I have in fact reviewed this game. In fact, it was my 1-year anniversary review on this channel. But the fact of the matter is, I spent a lot of time on this game, and I did get pretty far. But I'm not a huge fan of Metroidvania titles, which is something I discovered while playing this game. On top of that, I got so many things wrong in this video due to misunderstandings of the lore, but that's all in the past. With all of that out of the way, I really enjoyed the music of this game. It is all just so majestic with its sweeping orchestras, beautiful choirs, and magnificent composition. Many games of this era, that being the era of Xbox, PS2, and GameCube, went out of their way to show off the capabilities of their shiny new systems, including their new sound cards. The Talon overworld, boss fights, and temples all have wonderful tracks. But the Underwater Frigate has always stuck out to me. With its deliberate and peaceful melody, this track truly creates the atmosphere of exploring a submerged vessel. In fact, I could make an episode solely on water levels. So, despite my ignorance and lack of experience regarding Metroid Prime, at least I can appreciate the music. Number 4. Snowed-In Town, Undertale. First things first, there is an Undertale jazz album by the name of Live at Grilby's, and their cover of Snowed In is one of my favorite Christmas songs. I am dead serious. If you enjoy Undertale music at all, then please check it out and support the artist. Onto the track, I cannot help but be happy when I enter Snowed In. Snowed In Town embodies everything that reminds me of Christmas. Charming bells, warm violin, and an extremely happy and upbeat tempo. Interestingly, you will probably spend less time in Snowed In than you will in Waterfall or Hotland. That is, assuming you don't stand around and listen to the music like myself. I'm really having trouble putting my finger on just why I like this track so much, but it's just so charming and delightful. Maybe that in and of itself is reason enough. I've mentioned before that I absolutely adore all of the music in this game, and Snowed In is absolutely no exception. So, from hopes and dreams to another medium, from Death by Glamour to Snowed In Town, Undertale has one of the most amazing OSTs I've ever heard. Number 5. Boy Meets Girl, Earthbound. Hey, speaking of Earthbound, that joke worked better when I pointed out that Undertale was similar to Earthbound, didn't it? Anyway, Earthbound is another game that has an absolutely amazing OST. And while my favorite is probably Winter's White, even more parallels, a close second is absolutely the piece that plays in Tucson, Boy Meets Girl. Tucson being the city in which Ness meets Paula, this relaxing tune welcomes you to this quiet town with a cult next door. You can't win them all. Aside from its piece, the simple and sweet melody does a marvelous job in welcoming Ness to the second stop on his adventure. Whether fighting street gangs in Onett or fighting hippies in Forside, the music of this game is delightful, and Tucson was no exception. Number 6. Home Sweet Home, Beyond Good and Evil. So let me just say, Beyond Good and Evil is a wonderful video game, and I'm extremely excited for the upcoming sequel. Although the trailer seems to have nothing to do with the first game, but Home Sweet Home is one of the many marvelous tracks that litter this game. The name is basically everything you need to know, as it plays at Jade's home lighthouse, the home of Jade, the freelance reporter, her adopted pig uncle, and her adopted goat children. It sort of makes sense in context. I've actually just re-listened to much of this soundtrack before putting this video together, and wow, is it incredible! I mean, the time, effort, and care that was put into these compositions is just plain inspiring. In fact, I can safely say that you'll probably hear more tracks from this game in future episodes. While I adore the entirety of this soundtrack, this piece goes to show that sometimes there's no place like Home Sweet Home. Number 7. Rainy Day, Animal Crossing. So this is interesting. 7 years ago when I listed my top 10 video game songs of all time, this ranked at number 9. When I redid the list a few months ago and extended the list to 20, it didn't even make the list. Now, this wasn't because I've suddenly taken a disliking to this song, mind you, but rather I've just heard so much more amazing video game music since then, and well, something had to be cut. To complicate matters even further, I was also considering placing one of the other delightful Animal Crossing tracks in this slot, such as the bright and elegant 8 AM, or literally any of the tracks by KK Slider. But it only felt right that I bring Rainy Day back to the list. With its calming tune, deliberate pacing, and clever remix of the title theme, this track is deceptively complex. bonus points for the rain sound effects actually being part of the background noise. This is one of those tracks that is so peaceful that I would have no problem in setting it as my alarm. Assuming it was loud enough to wake me up, that is. So with the rain in the sky and adventure on the ground, Rainy Day will ensure you will have a lovely day in your town. Number 8. Arnhem Knights, Medal of Honor, Frontline. So let's set the stage for this beautiful piece of music. In this game, you play as US soldier turned OSS agent Jimmy Patterson. Your goal was originally to help secure the Netherlands after Operation Market Garden. Once Market Garden was inevitably a failure, you need to escape the city of Arnhem from the advancing German Panzer Division with the help of British paratroopers and the Dutch resistance. Michael Giacchino is a magnificent composer, and I attest that the majority of the soundtracks from the Medal of Honor games are magnificent. This track could have been an upbeat, heroic, and energetic piece, showing the chaos of the retreat and heroism of those defending. Instead, you get this reserved piece with a choir singing in Dutch, imploring the people of Arnhem to hold out, resist, and not lose hope in this desperate hour. This beautiful piece of music perfectly sets the stage for this heroic defense and has stuck with me strongly to this day. Hold out, Arnhem. Sing proud. Number 9. Waverace 64, Config. So, this is probably the strangest choice of music that I've ever used in one of these videos. Not because it's bad, mind you. This charming reinterpretation of the main menu theme is a wonderful and relaxing piece of 90s N64 music. The strange part comes by the fact that this piece plays specifically in the configuration menu of Waverace 64. Nope, not in any level, not in the character selection, not even the main menu. But the configuration. Well, it may be strange, but that's fine by me. Seriously, just listen to it. You can't tell me that this delightful track doesn't bring a smile to your face. Well, I mean, you could, but look, it's a figure of speech, alright? But anyway, despite the strange placement, Waverace 64 config will be staying on my video game music playlist. And finally, number 10. Rainbow Road, Mario Kart 8. You know, there is a very good chance that I'll be going over every rendition of Rainbow Road throughout the course of this series. Mario Kart 64 may be my favorite, but man, Mario Kart 8 just swung for the fences. This extremely upbeat, synth-heavy, sparkly, charming, happy, wonderful, beautiful, getting tired of my adjectives yet, bright, warm, and overall incredible theme is easily my favorite track from the game. The interesting thing about this rendition is that it doesn't follow the same formula as Mario Kart 64. While many other versions such as Mario Kart Double Dash or Mario Kart 7 are modified renditions of that theme, Mario Kart 8 forgoes its own unique path. I am genuinely surprised that this wasn't used as the end credits theme, as its soaring composition makes you feel like you've already won. Blue shells aside. While it may be rather difficult, and you may lose, this music makes me excited to ride the Rainbow Road over and over again. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble on about music once more. I'd be interested in hearing some of your thoughts and some of your favorite tracks in the comments. So until we meet again, this is E-Dog, a complete part of this balanced breakfast.